Ladies, gentlemen, NBs, this is the ESE Fantasy Podcast. Back at it again with more Oscars award movie coverage. Back at it again. It's me, it's the Digital Duke, it's the Lisan Al-Gaib of the podcast. And with me, the God Emperor himself.
Again!
Yes! The Char Pie Man.
Ah, yes.
I like those odds.
Yeah.
I'm always fucking down with that.
I made you one of the 9 kings of hell. Are you happy?
I am. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. So, yeah, we're back at it again. More movie reviews. We've been doing quite a few. I was checking the numbers. This was the 16th time I've been to the theaters this year, I think.
Dude, that is fucking awesome.
And I'm sure you've been more times than that. You know, we really locked the fuck in this year. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's how many movie reviews we had, roughly, give or take maybe a 1 or 2. I don't think there was anything we saw this year that we didn't talk about, right? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not anything significant anyway. Either way, if there was one that slipped, either way. But there was some stuff. There was some stuff we wanted to see. I think that we didn't end up seeing in theaters. But that was like, it's not the same thing as we went and saw it and then didn't review it, obviously. So anyway, not the point. This is a review of the movie Bugonia, starring Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone and various other actors as well that were also in it. And yeah, it was a really interesting movie. Went in a way different direction than I was expecting, I'll be honest. But I mean, really just a really visceral, raw kind of movie, you know, like, and set the stage for us a little bit, Charlie, because I mean, you're going to be going first talking about this one anyway.
Yeah.
But like, how would you, because I'm just trying to think, how would I describe this movie
so
in vague terms to somebody without spoiling anything?
Bugonia,
you know?
is one of those movies that's kind of been on our radar all year because it's Yorgos Lanthimos' new film.
Yes.
Yorgos put out Poor Things, put out Kinds of Kindness, and now Bugonia in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And Yorgos is always one of those directors. He's one of the best ones working today. He's, you know, you find a list of a top 20, Yorgos is always going to be on it. That's just kind of the way it is. Yeah. He's one of those kinds of directors. So whenever he's got a new movie coming out, people automatically pay attention to it. And Bugonia was this book based on Save the Green Planet, this Korean novel. And it kind of caught the
Korean entertainment taking over, man.
Yeah. It caught the festival market kind of by storm because at first Bugonia was kind of dead. And then it came back. And now I think it's at a comfortable spot. We got to read the book now
for our book reviews. I'm just saying.
Right? Save the Green Planet, right? So, boy, am I glad I didn't...
If there's an English translation, let's be clear. I don't know Korean.
I am glad I didn't look at the plot line of that book before seeing this movie because holy
it
shit.
Probably is just pulled straight from the book. It feels like the kind of thing that would be,
It's pretty damn close,
right?
It looks like at the end here.
Okay, well, there you go. So there you go. I mean, that sounds pretty cool to me.
I'm glad I didn't do that. But yeah, I mean, so we kind of went into this with a little bit of, you know, it's been on our mind for 11 months, 10 months since we've kind of started thinking about the 2026 Oscars. So yeah, it was another one. It was at the top of the top.
It's been shooting up and down the list. Like, it was like pretty high at the top at the beginning when we first heard about it because we just kind of gave Yorgos that sort of nod or whatever in our minds. And then like it sort of ticked down a little bit over time. And then, well, we would just say like a couple months ago, some people finally saw it again and it kind of ticked back up is what it felt like, you know, like.
So like, for example, when we did our August predictions, Bugonia was at 11. It was right on the outs. Yeah. So it was kind of in this spot of...
So it coming back up made us more interested, I think, because we were like, okay, if it's got people that, you know, it's almost like, I don't know what it was like for The Substance last year, like in terms of like how people talked about it, if it was like just known going in, this was going to be something insane or something. But like, it almost feels like how that movie was sort of talked about, like in that way that it was like, nobody really knew what it was, right? I think is kind of the way I'm interpreting that first part. Yeah. They really just didn't know what it was, and then they saw it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, this is something really interesting here. We should, maybe give this a second look." So for me, it's almost like that movie that's going to be in this conversation. You're going to completely agree with what I'm about to say. It's going to be that movie in this conversation that feels like nothing else in the categories that it's being talked about in, completely foreign to everything else, like in feeling and shape. And it's going to still feel like it needs to be there, I just feel like that's going to be the case. Even if it doesn't get nominated for anything major, I do think it'll peek into a few awards shows and we'll be like, okay.
Yeah, I think it'll keep its relevancy no matter what. So, Well, I guess let's just kind of jump into this. We're going to be talking in some spoilers with our reviews. We'll each give kind of our overall thoughts of this whole thing, and then we'll talk about the Oscar aspects, because we did that for our last review of Springsteen, and I kind of like that, where that took the conversation. So
yeah,
I guess
it expanded it, because like I'll tell you what happened in that conversation. We talked about it, and as we reasoned it out, I was pretty optimistic coming in that maybe there would be something. But as you start reasoning it out, it starts to become harder to put it into some of those categories, you know? Yeah. I do suspect we're going to have a similar problem with this movie, but, you know,
we might.
Let's see.
We might. Well, let's just jump right into it. So,
sure.
First thing I'll talk about real quick is, I guess I could have done this off the top, was the scores of the movie. Factoring in everything we have. So Letterboxd, this is sitting at a 4, which makes a lot of sense. I think it's a lot of people are going to have it at 4. A lot of people are going to have it at 4.5. I think a lot of people are going to have it at 3.5, right? I think you're going to have a lot of this being a 4. Again, that's strong suits for the Oscars. So good to know there. Rotten Tomatoes, 86%.
This isn't guaranteed, but a good rule of thumb for those of you that look at Letterboxd, if you see something's averaging 3.5 to 4, it has a chance. Straight up. Like, yeah, if it's got that high, it means something in the movie was good enough that got people to say that. And so...
And 4 usually will be a category. It's like very, very high. Anything above a 4 is a no-brainer. So the fact that 100%. It's sitting at a 4
means it's in the conversation already, just on talk alone. So I do suspect if you went through a lot of people's reviews, individual random people, that would probably be saying they wouldn't be surprised to see this at awards. It's probably what I'm going to put in mine, you know?
And critics at 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then the Metacritic at 71. So
for this movie, I have to say, for what the content of this movie is, that surprises me that it's that high, you know? Like,
it does surprise me that it's 86. Yeah. So, all right, well, let's just jump right into this, though. So I want to hit that off the top before we hit our other stuff. Look, I got to tell you, I really liked this movie. I really liked this movie. This was, you knew kind of going into it was going to be beautifully shot, and I believe it. This is the kind of movie that it does hit harder watching it on that big screen because of the cameras they're using, because of the lenses they're using. You get that wide scope in nearly every single fucking image, and it does something to your brain and kind of as you're watching it. So you really get that set up into it. So I thought it accomplished that. I thought this movie was fascinating. I was hook, line, and sinker of where this story was going. Because, you know, you're kind of just... The way they want you to play it as is, you know, oh, these guys are just idiots, right? You know, we're really kind of delving into our current...
Idiots. They're fucking insane.
Exactly. No, but, you know, we're really taking on this kind of deep look almost at our current, like, political society or just political society in general, of this conspiracy-driven online that did just what we see, and kind of what that did for Ari Aster this year was all built on the conspiracy theories, right? And this kind of takes that, and I haven't seen Eddington, but this, I'm assuming, takes us to another level, assuming that, you know, because the bitch was actually a fucking
Don't say
alien.
That with Ari Aster. That guy's insane.
Yeah, not only was she the alien, she's also the fucking emperor, so...
They actually didn't even say empress, right. so I guess there's no gender assignment in that society or something?
But this was a gritty movie. This movie just... It hit all the right notes, Duke, and I gotta tell you that it was flying by. Like, we're watching this thing, and I'm so just into what's happening. Even on his trips to work, you know, you're kind of with what the story is. While he's riding his bike to work, you're kind of on the lookout for cops. Or like, is someone going to notice anything? Like, are the people talking about what's going on right now?
You know what? This and Weapons both did a really similar thing with their cinematography and actually even Sorry Baby did one shot like this that was very specific. It's this thing that cinematographers are finding now with these long sort of winding shots where the fucking camera never cuts or only cuts in certain areas. And you get these long shots of people just doing a thing like walking, running in the case of Weapons, you know, and running in a violent manner, but still running, you know what I mean? And it adds this different dimension to human movement.
One battle after another, the fucking going up and down the mountains.
Yes, it adds a different dimension to like human movement and human activity that you don't see. It adds a momentum and sort of like, and let me tell you, whenever he's like fucking cooking on that bike, dude, it added anxiety to my feelings. Like,
no, it does. And I think they got us.
You know, he's feeling that. So,
yep. And that's where they get us is this uncomfortable nature that we're just sitting in for 2 hours. And I thought it was brilliant. Emma Stone was awesome. Jesse was awesome. The kid playing Don, it looked like it was his first movie. did great. Stavros being in this, he's all over the place. You know, we're seeing him even with this New York mayor thing. You know, Stavros is one of the guys.
Was he the cop?
Yes.
See, I thought he looked familiar, and I was like, "There's no way Stavros is in this."
So Stavros is really relevant right now in our current
really
political landscape.
Oh yeah, he's hella politically relevant. And he's also hella he's like really funny dude that just like that. What is it? I forget what their fucking group that he's part of is called, but yeah, like they're all that. I'm so glad that now that I know that makes me like this movie just even a little bit more because fucking they know exactly what they're doing. They know the political message they're trying to send, and I love that.
And they kind of touched on a little bit his character had a deeper past and all that, and we'll go into all of that. But I got to hear your thoughts, Duke. I walked out of this completely stunned by that ending of it actually happening and just how the shots they did, because this is a really small cast, ultimately kind of a really small scale movie until that last couple minutes, right? So it was really like, in terms of the fucking sets and all, this was a very, very minuscule movie, and then you get to there and you're like, shit. Oh,
yeah, so you kind of just teed me up perfectly here. So please remind me to come back to the political themes because it's not going to have anything to do probably with what I'm about to talk about for the next like 5 minutes. So please remind me because I probably will get lost in the sauce on this. But let me tell you, this is not a horror movie, technically.
No. Listed as an absurdist black comedy.
Right. The ending of this movie with the aliens, I'm going to just say it the way I interpreted it. So major spoiler warning for the actual ending if you haven't seen it, blah, blah, blah. Them popping the atmosphere, or whatever we're going to call it, just deleting the Earth's atmosphere. We'll just call it that for technical purposes. And then seeing the shots of everyone everywhere all around the world being instantaneously killed by this. And I mean, I've seen some horrific shots of death and violence in movies, and Yorgos knew exactly what he was fucking doing with this because all that is all fucked. And there's even a really gory scene earlier in this movie that is pretty fucked up that I'm sure we'll talk about. But something about all those bodies and all the fucking shit that Jesse Plemons' character did to try and stop this from happening. And all of that and all of the other things beyond that I could, ramble on about, but I'm not going to list off here because it would take way too long. But all the little bits that kind of add up into that moment where you're seeing everybody being dead on the earth all at once. You know what? Actually, I don't need you to remind me because this is kind of going to tie perfectly into where I'm going with all this. Like, this movie is about a couple of different things. Obviously, it's about an alien invasion, for one. But that is kind of more of a metaphor than anything.
Yep.
Because she comes out and says it at the end. Yeah, I'm an alien, and I'm here because y'all fucked this planet up so bad that we're here to kill you to save this fucking planet because you're such a pest to this planet, and we invented you. And there was all that stuff about that we invented you and all that, but like I don't know how much of that, whatever, right?
It can all just kind of be gobbledygook. Like it doesn't really
some
matter.
Of that is gobbledygook. It is just, okay, this is the sci-fi part of it. They invented humans in this universe, right? That is why they can delete the atmosphere, right? Because they probably fucking made the Earth have an atmosphere in the first place, right? That you can just reason that out, right? So that's fine. The movie's internal logic works in that way, so that's fine. But it is a little bit gobbledygook, I'll give it to you. But yeah, so other than them being created and all that, and what questions that sort of can maybe questionably ask, like, if they made them, then why are they so mad that they fucked up the play? Anyway, whatever. Anyway. So, like, doesn't really matter. All that's kind of, it's not the point. The point is, that is what the Earth will look like if we fucking waste it. And it won't be this catastrophic meltdown all at once, but everyone will just have been dead from one reason or another because the Earth either couldn't take it anymore, we couldn't survive anymore, whatever it is. But if we don't figure our shit out, basically, the universe is going to correct itself, is basically what I took the message of this movie to be, from fucking, soup to nuts, Yep. And the way they go about telling that story through these visceral characters, and there's a lot in this movie about people being abandoned by society and stuff like that, especially the mentally ill and stuff like that. And I just think that the fact that they packaged all this in this sort of really creepy, unnerving sci-fi sort of crazy movie that also has things to say about like men in society and their ability to kind of just kidnap a woman that's really powerful. And then, because think about this. And this is the crazy thing about this movie. If she's not an alien, everything they do up to that point is fucking horrible,
Like, think about how many times he's done it before to people that weren't aliens, you know?
Right.
We only got a glimpse
be
of
like
it.
10, 20 bodies in this fucking little collection room. So he is a serial killer regardless. Like, he got the taste after he killed the first one and kept killing because he wanted to. Yes, he had justified reasons, but he's still a serial killer at the end of the day. Like, here's the thing. You could be like the greatest fucking killer in history, right? And say you killed the bad guys and made everybody free. You're still a killer. You know what I mean? Like, you still won't really fit in with that society of non-killers that you made, right? So, you know, like, even if this guy saved the world, I don't think he's going to be able to live in the world he saved. I think he even has a moment in this movie where he kind of realizes that, you know? Like, where he's like, when he gets asked, is it Don is the guy's name? Gets asked by Don, so when we go into space, we're just going to be stuck there, right? Basically, he's asking the way he would ask it. He's like, well, no, we're going to come right back, because he's thought it so well through, you know? Which maybe he was right, you know? But
do you think Michelle would have brought Don up, or do you think it would not have been possible?
I think she was playing him the whole time.
Probably.
I think she triggered. I think bomb.
No, I'm saying Don, the guy that shot him.
I see what you're saying. Would she
have brought him up? Like, was that actual?
Maybe part of her saw this human that wasn't like other humans and was kind of being manipulated really heavily. I'm going to say something. I really hope this doesn't come off as offensive. Did you interpret Don as not being all the way there, like mentally?
He's described as intellectually disabled cousin.
Thank you. Okay, I didn't want to say anything out of turn.
Yep. No.
He is literally an intellectually disabled person who is being manipulated by his cousin. Okay. So she could have sympathy for him. It didn't seem like she had a lot of sympathy for humanity when she popped the bubble, though. So
yeah, there's a lot in that look. But my God, the bees returning to the humanless planet. Come on, what an ending.
I know, the whole thing about him thinking she was trying to kill the bees, and I love her getting offended about that, because now when you look at that scene secondarily, she wasn't trying to kill the bees. She unironically was trying to save the bees, you know? Yeah. Like, she was like, no, you have it all wrong. I'm trying to kill you all and not the bees. The bees are the reason, you're the reason why the bees are dying. Like, yeah, oh no, like.
This human experiment.
Yeah, the human experiments, again, more gobbledygook. I don't think that shit actually matters.
I think what we're getting at here, too, is in both of our... we like the substance of this movie. Like, this, it was good. And it was... If you want to tack on all the sci-fi stuff... I wasn't
ready to say it's kind of like the substance, but you know what? I think in some ways it doesn't do, like, the visceral body horror of the substance, but, like, it does, like, in sort of that uncomfortable, uncanny sort of, like, you know, like... Again, like I said, the movie that's going to stick with us for the rest of this fucking year, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Together. Together is still sticking with me, but this movie might be that movie, you know, like.
Yeah. I don't know if it's as strong as the substance when it comes to Oscars, but we'll get into that now a little bit.
Not many things are, to be fair.
But,
so,
you know, look, I think the ending, we both agree it worked. It was a good ending. I think people are liking the ending. Just, you know, the reveal and all that at the end. Here's the thing. You don't need any of that to make this movie work, right? It could have just ended with him killing her or her killing him, right? And the movie could have worked in that way, too.
Okay, here's a real question. Does this movie work better with the aliens being real? Or, like, in your mind, if he's just psychotically killing people and doesn't
I think it does work better with it being real, because now, if something we were doing this entire movie was questioning everything. We're questioning everyone's actions, everything they're saying, every single thing.
That's why they show us them first, because they want us to think they're crazy before we ever get to her, you know? So, like...
And I think when we get down to it, the only person that was actually a good person was Don. And I think that's what we'll get to, is the cousin being kind of the only guy that was really somewhat pure, and he was just so manipulated. You know, he was chemically castrated and all, which I know it wasn't supposed to make you laugh, but I kind of got a chuckle. I was like, Jesus, this is what we're, oh my God, chemically castrating. There was some comedy bits.
I knew
not
he was
a lot,
dying
though.
when that happened, by the way. I was like, this guy has been through so much so quickly and doesn't really seem to be into any of this at all. He's just... And it goes back to that being mentally not with it as much, because he can't make the distinction whether or not this is bullshit, because he trusts his fucking cousin, you know, like...
Yeah.
Which I would if I had fucking problems and I had people in my life I thought I could trust. And clearly, this is an interpretation I'm going to take. I'm thinking his mother might have been the only person in Don's life that could, like, help him and take care of him. Because why else would he be so why would this cousin be able to, go just pluck him out of wherever he was, right? So I think they were all living together. Then his mom got ill, couldn't do anything anymore, was no longer able to take care of her mentally, clearly fucking whacked out son,
Mm-hmm.
She was obviously not fully with it. She was also not really that with it herself, obviously, because she's on that conspiracy energy too. God,
they definitely placated the
What a detail they threw in there, where she's the one telling him all that shit to begin with and put him down that path. Fucking nuts.
That's how we often talk about, a lot of the stuff is passed down through generations. I mean, that is a good example. There is a
big generational gap, I think, with a lot of this stuff too. Like, I think someone Jesse's age is just right in that range where their parents could have just been like, they might have either already had those thoughts or through the course of time, they get manipulated by propaganda and stuff. And then they start feeding that stuff to their kids. And, I don't know how old he was in those scenes. I'm going to guess when his mom is like saying to him all that shit, maybe even a teenager. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Jesse Plemons can play younger for some reason. I don't know why. He just seems to be able to. He didn't do it as well in Breaking Bad because of the makeup. The Breaking Bad movie because of the makeup. But I mean, whatever. Anyway, sidetracking myself here.
So again, this was one of those movies that was shot 95% on VistaVision. So this and One Battle After Another.
Thank you.
Yeah, this and One Battle After Another were the ones that were doing it this year. So
God, those two movies, and they felt so much more visceral and raw. You know what? We got to bring back VistaVision. I think for some of these grittier movies. I think it's what they need 100%.
It clearly adds something, and it's a really fucking nice.
It's almost like an oppressive element to the camera. It makes the camera feel like a weapon or something. Like I don't even know. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but like I don't know, like. It feels like the camera's not supposed to be seeing what it's seeing. Does that make any sense at all? Like, I don't know.
It brings this like clarity and you get this richness almost of the fucking film. Like, it's really good. It's really, really good. And it's a fucking, yeah. So, all right, well, let's talk about some of the potential Oscar stuff here. So, I think it's safe to say our actors chewed up this script here. This is a pretty good script too. And again, it's adapted, so it's going to have an option theoretically adapted, but let's start at the top here of Best Picture. Now, Best Picture right now is 5 movies plus another fucking 10 to 15 of potential movies. No one knows what else is going to be in this top 10. Our 5, right? What are our 5? It's One Battle After Another, Hamnet, Sinners, Marty Supreme, and Sentimental Value. Those will be nominated for Best Picture. What's after that?
I got number 6 for you.
Knows.
I'll explain more why when we get to trailers, but this is going to get you very excited. Saw a trailer today. Did not know I was going to see. Number 6 is No Other Choice.
It might be. Look, it might be. No Other Choice is Neon's film. It might be the another one of Neon might have a couple in for Best Picture. So who knows, right? I would like to think it is. But oh yeah,
I didn't know my dude from Squid Game was the lead in that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. He looked incredible in it, dude.
That movie looks so fucking good. So it comes down to Best Picture. Where is
Park
it?
Sang-wook, man.
So a lot of what I'm seeing with predictions, this movie hovers at around 10, or it starts getting pretty low and it's like around 15. And I guess as we kind of go through this, we'll try and figure out why. But I guess the main question I have, Duke, and it's kind of the question that's been on my mind, and I'll answer it too after. Is this an Oscar movie? Is this an Oscar Best Picture movie? We saw the candidates last year. We saw the ones that didn't get in last year, like Sing Sing. And we've seen what we've seen so far this year, with movies we've really liked. But we're like, yeah, it's probably not an Oscar movie. More than likely not. So I want to ask you, do you think this is a movie? And second, would you be happy if this was nominated? Let's hear it.
Do I think it's weird. If you had asked me with what I know now to be and what I knew already from my previous Oscar coverage about what's supposed to be an Oscar movie, if you'd asked me that about The Substance or Challengers, I probably would have been like, or even Dune, as much as I liked Dune, I probably would have been like, outside of your, below the line categories, I don't know that any of these movies get into any of these things, like, because that's just the way the Oscars have always been. Now knowing what I know, but I don't want to pretend like just because The Substance got what it got last year, that means that horror movies are now in at the Oscars. And not that this is a horror movie, but movies that aren't like your traditional Oscar-y type of movie are now suddenly in all of a sudden. I don't think that's how that works. But I do think the Academy is changing. I think it's getting younger. I think it's getting more diverse over time, and so I think more ideas and more different visions of what makes a good film is kind of, I think it's being shaped differently. So I don't know. But to me, I feel like it is. I feel like something from this movie could get nominated. Weirdly, I don't know that a lot of the below the lines that like are your avenues for getting into other categories. Sometimes it feels like, like if you have a lot of really good, like, I don't know, costume design, set design, whatever, that sometimes it'll like, I don't know, it makes people like, well, maybe this is a better movie than I'm thinking it is. Maybe that doesn't happen, but I feel like in my head it does, so like, I guess that's what I'm struggling. So let's kind of go through it a little bit, like, because
just right off the bat, would you be happy if this was nominated?
If it was nominated for Best Picture,
yeah,
I would be happy.
This is so hard to answer right now because we haven't seen a lot of the other potential,
Well, it's not really that hard for me because I know those 5 that we've talked about at least. Yes. I know those 5 are, I'm going to even if I don't love them the way I love every Best Picture movie last year, pretty much, like, well, -1, but whatever. Well, -2 because I didn't see one, I guess,
if we're thinking about potential what this is fighting right now, right? If it is on that bridge spot.
Yeah, let's say we have 9 spots. Let's not say what they are, but let's say 9 spots are filled.
It's probably fighting Weapons.
Sure.
It's probably fighting Springsteen. Again, is Springsteen dead?
I think it gets in over Springsteen.
I think it gets in over Springsteen too. And the ultimate wild card for this year, you cannot rule this movie out one bit until those nominations are out, is F1. You cannot rule out F1. Don't make that mistake, people. Do not make the mistake of counting F1 out.
It's 10 movies, and the 10th movie isn't going to be the best movie of the year.
No, I mean, it's going to be a dogfight.
Okay, let's. So we were saying if it's going to be the 10th movie, let's just kind of like in our heads, well, what do we think the other 4 would be? Because I mean,
it was just an accident. I'm assuming Wicked. I'm starting to think Frankenstein.
I think that's Frankenstein. 8. Yeah,
and I think 9 right now is Avatar. So I think everything past that is fighting for that last spot. Is it No Other Choice? Is it Bugonia? Is it The Secret Agent, which is that Wagner Moore movie that's getting a lot of hype? The Testament of Anne Lee, Train Dreams, Jay Kelly. Again, House of Dynamite.
House of Dynamite could be in there. Fuck.
Is F1 just the one that's... Can this beat F1? I think...
No,
yes.
It gets in over F1.
I think it can beat F1. Would I be shocked if F1 beat it? Not at all. F1 is such a big movie. I would be shocked if
F1 got in over this because...
I wouldn't.
But I also wouldn't be shocked if there's another movie that would be the 10th movie that we don't know about that's neither of those 2 movies getting in. That would also not surprise me.
I don't feel as confident Wicked for Good and Avatar Fire and Ash are getting nominated as it seems like everyone else is.
Wicked, Wicked's getting nominated for about everything they can, I think. Because
it could.
Because it didn't win a bunch of stuff last time. So,
So, yeah, it's going to be hard. But obviously, I did like this movie, so I'm going to be happy if it does. Well, let's dive into some of this because maybe our minds will be a little different after we get through this. So Best Actress has been kind of the main pulling point here.
I mean, it's a weird category this year.
So kind of our main point, if you will, of just where this movie's been has been Best Actress.
Which has been a weird category this year, to be clear. Like, I don't think anybody really knows what's happening in that category as of yet. Yeah. No, that was kind of how it felt this time last year, I feel like. And then we had like bang, bang, bang performances at the end of the year, and then a couple kind of like
exactly. Well, I remember specifically at this point last year, people were still thinking it was a foregone conclusion, like Pam Anderson for The Last Showgirl or Angelina Jolie for Marie. We're going to be in this, right? But
neither of them ended up getting nominated.
Neither of them ended up even being in.
Correct. So I was like,
the only ironclad block we have is Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. That's the only ironclad block. Everything else, I mean, you got good odds, I would say. Renette from Sentimental Value, Cynthia from Wicked for Good. And then it's kind of in the air, like, who else could be in there? Emma Stone in this has been getting a lot of buzz.
There's a wife character in No Other Choice, right? I think she could get in.
Maybe.
Or there's
could be
probably
best
a
supporting
female
actress
actress
too.
Oh, that's true, actually.
But
well,
for best
fair.
actress, this is where we get to, and I gotta tell you, I didn't walk. This is actually a first because it's been a while since we've done one of these where this person had a lot of hype. But I didn't walk out of this thinking Emma Stone Best Actress winner or Best Actress nominee. I gotta tell you, I didn't. Not that it was a bad performance.
Could they almost like say she's a supporting actress and put her in for that? Like, because I almost feel like she's not the lead of the movie. I'd say this is Jesse Plemons' movie. Like,
that's fair, but so
he's the one that's at the start.
He's
not
shocked.
At the end of the. Well, actually, I say that, but he's not at the end of the fucking movie. So how can I say that? Like,
but I was just a little shocked following this. Of that was kind of where she was at. There was a lot of the billing of that performance. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a very good performance, and if it got nominated, I'd be like, yeah, that was a good performance. But I didn't feel walking out of that like, oh, that's a must nomination. Like, that's a potential winner. That's an all-time great performance. Like, I didn't walk out of that thinking that needs to be an Academy Award nominee performance. And I don't know what other people's thoughts are on that. Again, I haven't really seen people's reactions to the movie being out. Just a festival, like, stuff we were hearing over the past couple months. But I don't know, Duke. Maybe I'm talking out of my bird here. Did you walk out of this performance thinking like, yeah, that's that, you got to nominate that one? If she's not in, it's I don't know if I
walked out of it saying you have to nominate that one. I would say I walked out of this performance saying that I actually might even need time to sit on this one to kind of like really think about it, because like I don't know how I felt about her performance, because I would say all the way up until she turns into the alien fully, like I'm with it. Like, I would want to rewatch it kind of to see if she was playing that under the surface the whole time, and because I didn't believe she was, I just bought it, like...
Yeah. Are people just getting really excited for bald Emma Stone? Like, we do know that plays into performances.
Look, all I'll say is she could play a mean Denny Jesuit. That's all I know,
Yeah, we know people give a lot of credit to that when an actor, alters their appearance or obviously plays someone like we know, or et cetera, et cetera. But
yeah, I mean, look,
does that give it this extra big boost? Because I got to tell you, man, there's no way
she did get put through a lot in this movie. Like she
did, but there's no way I'm putting that over like Eva Victor and Sorry Baby. There's no way.
Oh no,
there's no way I'm put this over that.
But.
And she's like a clear.
But could it get nominated in the same year as that movie? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Like, maybe. I'm not going to say yes because I don't think so right now.
Sorry Baby could still be nominated for it.
Oh no, not Sorry Baby. I'm saying, do I think that if Sorry Baby is nominated, that means that we're not nominating this movie? I don't think that's the case. I think some people think that way, like that if we get like a certain caliber of performance as a nomination, that like we won't get certain other things, Just because, like, I don't know, like, that denotes the entire quality of what we're going to get in those performances. And some years are like that. Like, last year we had all of our lead actresses for fucking knockout performances, Like,
yeah. But even still, we had, 2 performances from The Apprentice get in, and that was all The Apprentice got. So sometimes it can, but I don't know. So
I actually could see it being like that. I could see her and Jesse getting nominated, and that's it,
Maybe. But I was a little surprised that was the performance that got so much hype. But
it's a good performance, I would say.
It's a good performance. It's a good performance. But the performance
I need to rewatch this movie, I think, but really know if I like
the performance to me that really stuck out, and because of how gritty it got, and the verisimilitude, shout out Emma for saying verisimilitude, of the performance was Jesse Plemons in this. This is a weaker year for Best Actor, and we know this for a fact. And we know this because 2 of the top 3 are not that outstanding of performances. And, obviously the number one, the lock pick here to be nominated is Timothée Chalamet. Everything else is kind of in the air. You have Leonardo DiCaprio from One Battle After Another. You have Michael B. Jordan from Sinners, Wagner Moore from The Secret Agent, Jeremy Allen White from Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere. But then you kind of got Jesse Plemons in Bugonia. He's kind of sitting in the same spot as maybe George Clooney and Jay Kelly, right? Dwayne Johnson in The Smashing Machine, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon. He's kind of sitting in this same spot. So where does that all fit in? Something we did with Springsteen was we kind of ranked these performances, and I wanted to do the same here. So ranking these performances of the ones we've seen. So Leonardo DiCaprio, Michael B. Jordan, Jeremy Allen White, Jesse Plemons, and then I think that's kind of all the ones we've seen that really have a shot at this.
God, I wish I remembered what I'd said last time.
Well, that's what makes it all better, right? So if I was ranking them right now, I'm going Jeremy Allen White at the top still. I think that was the strongest performance of this group. I think I'm going Jesse Plemons second, Michael B. Jordan third, Leonardo DiCaprio fourth. I think that was the order I would have them. Last time I know I had Michael over Leonardo. So you might have had it the opposite. So
I would say, I think the only difference I would have than you there would be I would have Michael B. at the bottom. And I would just have Leo slightly above. And here's the reason why. And this is going to piss some people off, but it is what it is. Neither of those two guys are the lead character in their movie. And you can make the argument that Leo is more than Michael B. is, but Michael B. definitely isn't. And also, I would argue the other three performances, they're all the main, at least the mostly main character of the movie, for fuck's sake. You know, like...
Yeah. So you'd rate Jesse Plemons over DiCaprio and Jordan in this one too?
Yes.
I would too.
And Jeremy Allen White right now is the front runner, which is insane because
agreed.
It's the weakest movie of the four, which is insane.
By far.
Like, how is that where we're at? That's kind of crazy. But what we've talked about that though. Sometimes the best performance is not in the best movie. It is the weirdest thing.
The guy that played Joker, Joaquin. So he won it. That wasn't the best movie that year.
Not at all. It was a very good movie that year.
Yeah.
It was the best performance that year by far. He fucking annihilated that role. And Joaquin Phoenix, man. But
you never know. But nomination wise,
I'll say something bold. This is as gritty as that version of the Joker was. This version of Jesse Plemons.
It's so gritty, dude.
It's as visceral as that. Like,
and is it fair to say? I think he had the Oscar moment after he. By the way, extreme fucking trigger warning with that antifreeze. Holy shit. That was a brutal, brutal scene. And then he has that Oscar moment, I believe, when he's driving back and he's getting the shotgun. That's Oscar. That's an Oscar performance. That is an Oscar performance. And no, it's not just because of the tears, but the tears do add to Oscar performances, as we know. But just how
it's the physical unraveling that you see him go through. We saw a couple of performances last year that is the key. What you see is this unraveling moment where they break down. There's a phenomenal moment in the movie The Apprentice last year where you see Roy Cohn just disintegrate as a human being.
Yep.
I mean, sorry, it's not to just make everything about everything else.
Here's a good 1-to-1 for the best. Just to backtrack for a second with Emma and Bugonia. The other one we know that's going to be nominated for Best Actress, well, at least they're putting her up for it. We don't know if she'll be nominated. Is Chase Infinity in One Battle After Another? I think I'd rank Emma above her.
I think I'd rank her above Chase as well because I think again it's kind of the problem of the script of One Battle After Another that might even hurt it in script is like I don't know who the fucking main character of that movie is, man. Like, I really do. It might be fucking Lockjaw. Like,
that's why. That movie is going to take our first casting award and enjoy it, to say the least.
It might. What if that's the only thing it wins and everything else just blanks? That'd be fucking insane.
So two great performances, but neither of them are guaranteed to be nominated. So okay, using that information, let's jump into this. Kind of our next. What are its next best odds? And I think the next best odds is a very important one if it wants to be Best Picture, and that's screenplay. And in terms of best adapted screenplay, I think it's looking pretty good. One Battle After Another and Hamnet aside, those are two locks. Bugonia, Wake Up Dead Man, No Other Choice. Those are kind of like the next three. And you can see that's already 5. And then we're getting down to like Frankenstein, Wicked, Springsteen, Train Dreams, Life of Chuck. Some of these other movies I just don't see it happening for. So Bugonia getting screenplay. I mean, I was eating it up. It was so good. It was such a good screenplay. It was so fucking good. These characters, the way they talk to each other. I ate it all up. Will Tracy did the screenplay for this. And then again, it was based on that Korean book. This would be a no-brainer to me, Duke. I mean, you in the same boat here?
I mean, here's where I'm going to disappoint you. I'm in the same boat as you. I just don't think it gets the nomination. I think it's a tough year for that. I think there's going to be some stuff that gets... Now, it's interesting because screenplay is always split, right? Because not everything you think is going to be in one category is going to be in that,
Original
right?
screenplay is the gauntlet. This one's a little more open because I don't think Frankenstein's going to beat it for screenplay.
fucking Del Toro,
and Wicked didn't get nominated last year. So I think it's got a comfortable spot to make this. There's 3 open spots here. Bugonia, Wake Up Dead Man, No Other Choice. Those feel like
fucking
a comfortable
Del Toro,
3.
Charlie. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
I know. I don't. I mean, maybe if Bugonia's
I can't
dead,
imagine that with how much momentum that movie currently has. If it shit out, that would be crazy. That'd be like,
yeah. But I'm thinking
Jay Kelly levels of catastrophic fucking shout out. You know, like
the reaction has been so good. I would be. I mean, I think if it doesn't get screenplay, I think it's getting nothing. We're looking at potential 0 to maybe 4 nominations, and we'll get into the other ones, but could be maybe 5.
And I'm not, by the way, saying that I don't think the screenplay is good enough. I just don't know. It feels to me like
you brought up a great point. Frankenstein. I mean, that could easily jump it. What about Train Dreams? Dreams. I can't wait to watch that. We get it in like 2 weeks on Netflix or something, right? So I can't wait till we can watch that because I have a feeling that's right up our alley. And man,
I think actually all of Netflix's movies that are coming out are pretty much, we're going to like them all, I think. I could be wrong.
Frankenstein too. Because, we don't live in fucking LA, so we don't get to see the movie in theaters. Classic. Make sure you see this in theaters. It's meant to be seen on the big screen. How?
It's not allowed to be shown. Now, watch them just like 2 weeks before the movie comes out. That's going to be shown everywhere.
Made a decision, though, by the way. Netflix is going to stream the Stranger Things finale on the big screen. If that's near me, I'm going to go see it. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is when it comes to Netflix. That one's
probably going to be the one that's movie length, then I would think, right? If they're showing it on movie screens.
I'm putting my money where my mouth is because I want Netflix to do that. And if there's even a fucking chance in hell they could do that for Three Body Problem, you bet your ass I'd jump on it. Now look, Three Body Problem is not Stranger Things.
On the big screen with the budget of a big screen thing would be insane.
Yes, exactly.
Because like season 1, I'll be honest, on a big screen, some of the big sequences,
episode 5 would have been nice to see with Judgment Day, but that's about it.
Well,
the
game
is kind of whatever
stuff was kind of like low res at some points. You know what I mean?
Like
it wouldn't have looked as great on a big screen, in my opinion. It actually worked well for streaming. They know what they have. I wonder if that show was shot on the volume for the video game sequence. It probably was.
It probably was. Knowing those guys, yeah,
it could have been.
But,
I mean,
so it's got volume. Look, I mean, I'm with you.
Use the volume in this movie. No, I'm just kidding.
If this one doesn't get screenplay, and this is going to be something we're going to have to follow a lot because while Frankenstein is gaining momentum, because Ryan Johnson, this is his last Knives Out, at least right now. He could do more, and then No Other Choice.
They got to keep that franchise going. Come on. More.
This is going to be a tough spot for Bugonia because I think
it's a tough one.
I think it's got Wicked beat no matter what because Wicked wasn't nominated. Okay,
so just those ones we threw out. I don't know if they get it over Frankenstein. It definitely doesn't get it over Knives Out the way people are talking about it. There's no way Wake Up Dead Man is not getting nominated. So it maybe has one spot left that it can claim So maybe it is the fifth movie. That might be the fifth movie. This might just be the movie that doesn't really have a chance, which sucks, but it might be the one in the category.
But if it gets this, I feel more confident it can get maybe Emma in. Maybe Jesse too.
No, that's what I was saying. I do think there's a cascading effect. I think if the screenplay was starting to get votes, I think people would generally start being like, well, maybe I should start talking about these performances more. Maybe not. I don't know. But what else do we think it maybe could get? Do you have any other ideas?
So as we trend down, it's got options, nothing it's super strong in. And the one that shocks me the most, Duke, because as of right now, I would nominate this, is cinematography. Yorgos is known, these movies, for cinematography. Cinematography right now is kind of a 7-horse race as of today.
You say I can't believe this isn't being talked about. 7 movies deep, and all 7 of them have insane cinematography.
Here's the reality, right? Here's the reality. Sinners is getting in.
Yep. Sinners' opening shot is maybe winning.
Put our brains back to April when we're watching those videos with Kugler and Kodiak breaking down how we shot this movie, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, and how the fucking camera gets wider in the opening shot of that movie. One battle after
another. It's one of the most beautiful fucking movies. It's getting in.
I don't know how that doesn't win.
Hamnet, it's getting in. That's 3 for cinematography.
Just the trailer shots look like fucking paintings.
You might just be able to say Frankenstein's getting in. Because if we're watching the tea leaves right now with specifically
when was the last
Nosferatu.
time he had a fucking movie like this too that people like saw and they were like, oh my god, Guillermo's fucking cooking again, you know?
He's
like,
fucking cooking.
Not that he ever stopped, but like, you know, he has The Shape of Water and like people liked it, but they're like, well, that's fucking weird, you know? Like,
it's been a couple years.
Yes, yeah.
But Frankenstein might be this year's Nosferatu in terms of the dark gothic aesthetic that it might bring. And then Marty Supreme, and I gotta tell you, that's 5. I think Bugonia and Train Dreams are on the outs looking in then.
Yeah.
Like, because again, those are when we're basing percentages. Again, you got F1 down there. If there's a serious momentum for F1, which there might be, the more of these movies that keep kind of shitting the bed on release, it's just helping F1.
You know what's going to hurt this in cinematography too? It already happened with this conversation before we really started talking about it. Once you started talking about it, I started thinking about shots, and I was like, okay, yeah, there was some pretty crazy cinema. When I'm going to think this movie, I'm not going to think cinematography. I'm going to think, oh my god, that ending. Oh my god, the insane visceral scenes of just torture and shit. That's what's going to stick out in your mind, I suspect. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know.
It's just it's a well crafted movie, but it's not going to be known for it. I think that's fair. But I was going to tell you, man, I thought this was going to be in the top 5, but I guess I'm not going to be mad with 6 or 7, right? It's at 7 right now, behind Train Dreams. So I'm not going to be mad at that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of a little shocked this is where it's going. But look, I mean, if it doesn't have cinematography, that's going to significantly hurt its chances.
Let's look at the nominated categories, those that were nominated in this category last year.
Yep.
And let's kind of like see, did anything kind of squeak in at the end that was like, the movie itself isn't on par with the other movies in the category maybe necessarily, but like it has such ridiculously good cinematography. And this is going to be tough because last year was a fucking gauntlet of cinematography. But yeah. Like, I'm curious, does anything get in? Like, because that's the kind of year we're in right now, too, right? Another gauntlet of cinematography year. So it might actually be a good look to see.
Well, when we start getting into those below-the-line categories, it gets fucking brutal because it's just one of those years. All right, so last year, The Brutalist. It wouldn't beat The Brutalist.
It wouldn't have been in over The Brutalist, right?
Dune Part 2, no shot in hell.
Nope.
Maria.
You know, maybe it would get in over that.
Maybe.
But there's some insane shots in that movie, so.
It'd be 50-50. Nosferatu? No.
Nah, I know that's all
it's
that movie had.
It's not beating Nosferatu. Amelia Perez. But again, it was a weird year for that.
With the momentum that Amelia Perez had when nominations came around, no. Not at all. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say that it would get in another year. Is it fighting
for that 5th spot with Maria?
Might be that movie that's like in a weaker year. Yeah. It might be that.
It's fighting for that 5th spot.
It's really good cinematography. It's just a really, really good year for cinematography. You know,
it absolutely is. And the best part is one of the top ones we still haven't seen yet. So
yep.
Actually, I mean, shit. Let's be real. Frankenstein and Marty Supreme we still haven't seen either. And Train Dreams up next.
Most of the cinematography. So when we get that's gonna be great going into those movies. It's like going into Nosferatu last year. I knew because I watched. I did my little Eggers. Like knowledging before I watched it, to try and get a vibe for him as a director, which was such a great decision. But either way,
great decision.
Yes, it was awesome. And I walked into it as a fan. I knew what to expect, and I was more hyped for it. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was. So it's maybe contending for Maria. I would give it the nod over Amelia Perez. I think I'm just really trying to think if there was. But again, I know I just kind of fall victim to. I love how he uses the lenses and how he it gives that almost fisheye feel, and just how I just love it so much.
Look, in a year where it would be tough to find, like, would Hollywood prioritize a movie about a trans person over a really, really well shot movie like this? I don't know. It's kind of a weird question to ask, but you have to ask it because.
But then
we
you
don't
run
know.
into that thing.
Did they start pushing that because there wasn't a 5th movie? Is that a question we have to start asking ourselves now? And then they made it have such a big push because they wanted to look progressive. You can make a whole narrative about that if you wanted to.
Yeah,
so there's your right wing grift podcast start right there if you want it.
Well, just to look at how great it did with the at Cannes Film Fest and all that. Yeah. So, next best chance. I mean, I think those are its only realistic odds, but we can get into perhaps score because it's that Jerskin Fendrix again. did poor things.
I'll talk about this a little bit. So all those scenes with Emma at the beginning and toward the middle, and I don't know if they did it at the end. They probably did when she was like emperoring it up, and I just didn't really think about it because it was already like, the music had already gotten really dramatic at that point. Every time, and I guess this is your signal that she's a fucking alien, every time she's on screen, they play this villainous villain music, like she's a comic book villain or something.
Yeah.
And it like added this weird sort of vibe to her character that like kind of made you unsettled at her and disgusted, not just because she's a CEO, but like, like I think just because the way she acts and then that music, I feel like it does something, So I do think they do some interesting stuff with that. If I were to rewatch the movie, I bet they do it in other parts of the movie. I bet I would be surprised if Don didn't have some weirdly specific score moments when he's by himself or not with Jesus. What the fuck was Jesse Plemons' character's name? I cannot remember it right now.
Jesse Plemons was Teddy.
That's right, because they don't say it at first, and then they say it, and I'm like, Teddy? All right, fair, Mr.
Like
Theodore.
she finally puts those pieces together and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she knew exactly who he was. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think this is nominated for score, but I mean, hey, it's got a good score to it, I think.
And here's the problem it's going to run into again. Those same 5 movies we just said. Sinners, One Battle, Hamnet, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme. Following the trend on Award Expert, it seems like pretty much everyone's lining up with Marty Supreme over Bugonia now.
What if Marty Supreme isn't like the trailers suggest that it is, though? Like, the trailers are making it seem like this energetic sports fucking music fucking, like, sort of, like, frenetic movie. What if it's not that? What if it's actually a super dramatic Timothée Chalamet movie, Like, and it's just got that.
It totally might be. I mean, it's kind of,
These movies love to do that. You know what I mean? Like, Anora had a lot on the tin that looked like what was the movie they always compared it to? That was the fucking.
It seems like the people that love Marty Supreme really love it, and they're gonna like push it as their favorite movie of the year. So
that's why I think it might be like that.
Whereas Bugonia is just not gonna have that.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think anyone's gonna go into this thinking that was the best movie of the year. So I think it's gonna have that part. It's just not gonna be as strong as some of these other ones. And then, I mean, we got to mention him for director, but how could we? We already have those big kind of 4 that we talked about, and then you want to talk about maybe Joaquin Trier for Sentimental Value, Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident, Park Chan-wook for No Other Choice. At this point, Guillermo del Toro. I just don't know, man. I mean, Yorgos is a Hall of Fame director, but we also can't give up on Noah Baumbach for Jay Kelly yet either, I don't think, for this award.
I mean, just because that movie doesn't do spectacularly well at the rest of the categories doesn't mean they can't think he did a good job directing. And don't count out Bradley Cooper.
I thought you were about to pull a don't count out Jimmy C for Avatar.
Oh, well,
I mean, hey, you're never not wrong, though.
I mean, he could make the best movie of the year. It fucking happened.
You're not wrong. So, man. So I think Best Director, again, ask us in April where he's in our top 5, but and then makeup and hairstyling. What's it competing with, right? Guaranteed nominations: Frankenstein, Wicked for Good. More than likely nominations: Smashing Machine and Sinners. It's competing for 5th again.
Yeah,
and what's got momentum versus it right now? 28 years later seems to have more momentum. Weapons seems to have more momentum, and that's kind of it. And it's kind of competing for that spot with those 2 movies. So, because the other ones down here are like Wolfman, Christie, but that seems to already kind of be dead a little bit. So, yeah, makeup and hairstyling. I wouldn't put it over 28 years later. I thought
and you didn't even like that movie.
Yeah, significantly better movie in 28 years. I'm not putting it over that for makeup and hairstyling. Fuck no.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's a movie that's probably the aspect.
I wouldn't put it over Weapons either. Maybe would I?
Well, Weapons. I mean,
you know what? I'd put it over Weapons.
Yeah, Weapons' effects aren't really visceral on purpose, I feel like, like they're not as... Well, there are some. It's not like the gory kind of horror movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Per se.
But in terms of like...
scenes in it that are, but it's not...
In terms of like costume
crazy.
And everything else, it's not really even a player. But yeah, I mean, look, I think ultimately... I think we got to do a lot of stuff for this.
I'm glad we dug deeper because like it's like I don't want to act like we're shitting on some of these movies, but like it's just like you realize as you talk about them, it's like, do we really think these have a chance? And like when you start, I'm really glad I decided to bring up the cinematography from last year because that really kind of put things into perspective. Because this is the same kind of year we're having this year. Maybe even there's less stuff this year than there was last year. Potentially like. There was only one that stuck out to us.
Even if we were to bring it up against Best Picture last year, I think the only one we're putting it in over is Emilia Perez. And considering,
and are we doing that retroactively because you can't just imagine a scenario where Hollywood didn't still put all of its weight behind that movie before they realized it was problematic.
Over Emilia Perez, no,
they wouldn't.
Would they have put it? And we know what number 9 and 10 were last year. It was, oh my god, our movie about the two kids at the camp in Florida. Unbelievable cinematography.
Nickel Boys.
I don't think this would have been put in over Nickel Boys.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, that was 9 and 10 spot, right? So it was Nickel Boys and I'm Still Here, which I still haven't seen yet. You haven't either, right?
No. I don't think I ever will, to be honest with you.
So I don't think it gets in over either of those, most likely, because I'm Still Here had all that momentum.
But yeah, I know it was kind of sad. I still want to see that one desperately because it should have probably won Best Picture anyway. But what did was fine. But probably based on what people were saying, I don't know.
So yeah,
we didn't see a couple of those movies.
Fun stuff here. So yeah, that's our Bugonia review. We had a couple things we want to do here at the end though.
Oh,
real quick, we've gotten some new comments on some Spotify stuff here on ESE Fantasy, and well, this is our first show since they popped up. So, AO finished The Dark Forest a few days ago, and he said, "I'm glad I found your podcast. Just finished it. Glad I found the show." So, shout out to you, AO, for finishing The Dark Forest. This is just an easy reminder for us to tell you guys. We do a book club here where we kind of dive into all the sci-fi fantasy books you can imagine. We've kind of been... Hasn't been a lot of new stuff.
This movie actually has quite a bit of synergy with Three Body Problem.
Oh, absolutely. And so it kind of ties in with that aspect of we do a lot of... We've been almost covering the history of sci-fi, more or less, and fantasy, because we've been going through all the massive franchises, or, well, I guess massive just series that you can to really get that history before even jumping into anything too new. I mean, we're finally doing our newest thing now of Brandon Sanderson, which came out in the 21st century. So, just to give you an example, I mean, Three Body Problem did too, but Sanderson came out. This book came out like 5 years ago, though. The one we're reading now, all the 6 years ago.
7 million High Republic books that we read, but whatever.
So, and then we got some Star Wars on there, but we do a book club where, I mean, there's a good chance you've read a book that we've talked about, and if you're currently reading, we are currently reading Winds of Radiance. Words of Radiance? Winds of Radiance.
It's right? Words.
Words? That's what I thought. So we're currently reading that, and that is off to a phenomenal start. And then it looks like we had a comment on Apple Podcasts from Robbie 0804 here.
Robbie.
He's the title, Awesome Book Club Episodes. These guys bring some great energy to the book club. Found them from the Dark Forest and joined them for the Dune series. Awesome stuff. If looking for people to talk in depth with book reviews, this is where to look. Aww. Excited for the Cosmere next.
Oh.
So, sounds like Robbie kind of went down that rabbit hole. So, again, if this is the same person, I don't know if it is, but maybe you give a shout out. I honestly can't tell. It could be the same person. But if you gave that shout out to us and you kind of left that review elsewhere, thank you very much. And if you're,
that was cool.
It's cool to know that people went through that Dune series with us. So that was a blast.
You know what? So, we should maybe this is a time where we really don't know. I think in our minds we're just going straight back to Sanderson after Acolyte. Do we maybe take another pit stop and finish off Dune?
Yeah, might be
for our boy, so he can finish it out.
We get to finish out Dune. So thank you for that.
Because I actually have been thinking about that for a while. I wasn't going to ask because we have like a schedule, if you will, of books. But like I was thinking
got some more stuff.
Dude, so we should finish it. We should cap off Dune sometime soon.
For going through that. It was really nice of you to leave that.
Because then that leaves us open to read any of the oh Jesus, Brian
the
Herbert,
extra
is
ones,
that his
yeah.
name? Yeah, those ones. Like, and I actually think I want to read the ones about like the robots and shit. I think the Dune fucking prophecy may be interested enough in his writing, like.
So something we like to do here at the end of our stuff is talk about some
which we reviewed that show too, by the way.
Yes, it was great. Something we like to do at the end here is just talk about some of the trailers we saw, see if it impacted us. And well, I guess since I went first with the review, I'm going to toss it to you here first to talk about some trailers. So what trailers did you see while at Bugonia, dude?
Yeah, Bugonia. All right. So I teased it up earlier. The first trailer I saw was No Other Choice. That movie looks fucking incredible.
I need to see that on the big screen. I need to see that trailer too on the big screen. I have not seen the trailer yet on the big screen.
So fucking good on the big screen, dude. It looks like it's gonna be maybe one of the. It might be bumping stuff out for cinematography, dude. Like,
let's fucking go.
It looked phenomenal. Like, and that might have just been like they showed like the best shots in the movie in the trailer. Sometimes they do that, and you think, oh, in your head, cinematography, and then you get to the movie, and it's like, oh, okay, they just did what needed to be done for the movie. I saw the Bride trailer. I was less on it this time. I don't know why.
Okay.
It was still good. I'm just like not as excited about it now. I don't know why.
That's fair.
I think it's the makeup on Christian Bale a little bit, so, which they went with. Like, you know, they made him look like Frankenstein, but like it's a little much. Maybe
it looks like a significantly cheaper movie than Frankenstein,
which it is. I'm sure. You know.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, to be fair, it could actually be the other way around, and we would probably never know the difference knowing Yorgos. So, you know, like
that's true.
I saw this movie trailer for The Housemaid.
Okay.
It looked kind of thrilling, you know, kind of interesting maybe. The vibe, the premise was this chick is moving in with this family, and the wife that brings her in doesn't tell the husband about it. And
oh, wow.
He's like, what the fuck is this? And then she's like, kind of seems a little bit off. And then there's also like a shot in the trailer where she kind of has this face up when she's around the family and she leaves for the day. Or leaves to go do something, and then she drops the face and like kind of starts looking like sinister herself. So there's something going on. It's almost like a keeper thing where like, who's the bad guy? You know, like
yeah. Well, it looks like it's a Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, Brandon Sklenar. So maybe our new Batman.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah,
well, I have not seen the trailer for this.
You know what? We'll watch it after we get done here.
Yeah, that is cool. Lionsgate, huh?
Okay. Yep. It looked really interesting. I don't know.
What was down for some Sydney?
I saw the trailer for Anaconda, Charlie.
Dude.
Oh my God, this looks horrible.
It looks like a movie.
It looks like the worst movie that might come. It looks worse than Predator Badlands.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm not going to be surprised if it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's probably funny, because look, it's got
we
Jack
get
Black
the reviews
and
right away, and people are like, yeah,
Jack
that
Black
movie's
and Paul
hilarious.
Rudd. Yeah, they're two hilarious dudes, and their vibe totally matches. So they'll be awesome in it. Looks so fucking bad. I saw a Running Man trailer. Looks like a rip-roaring good time to me, bud. Give me that movie.
Yeah.
I saw the Song Sung Blue trailer. That movie looks heartwarming, dude. That looks like that's going to be a fun movie. And, like, tragic, I'm sure. But like, it looks like... Because, I think dude's going to have a big part in that movie where, like, he realizes he's never going to be, like, a star, but like he kind of just accept. I don't know though. That character could be like one of those dudes. I don't know. He's a very good. I feel like I haven't seen Hugh Jackman as anything but Wolverine myself. So fuck it, you know.
Hell yeah.
And then Hamnet, get me this movie fucking yesterday, bro. I'm done talking.
Yeah, this is the new trailer. I've purposely avoided this trailer, but you know we're in theaters, so I'll take it. Beautiful.
I mean, look, it showed me more than I probably wanted to see. I don't care. I want to see this movie.
Exactly. At this point, it's like, I don't care. Like, if I'm going to see it, I'd rather see it in the theater than watch it on my phone.
Yes. And the sound design even kicked, you know, for the trailer. So it was like, the fucking movie's going to be phenomenal. It's Charlie, I'm just going to tell you now, just based on this trailer, it's going to probably be our favorite movie this year. I think so. Because we love Chloe. We love her directing style. And we also love just this kind of movie, you know. This is our brutalist of this year, you know.
Fucking like Shakespeare, get me in all day.
Not shot on VistaVision, but it's gonna be as well shot, I suspect, you know.
Oh yeah. So was that it for yours, Hamnet? Last one.
Yes,
makes sense. Focus features, right?
Yep. So,
okay,
mostly Oscar-y stuff, but not really, you know.
Yeah. So we had a few similar, a couple different here. Okay, The Running Man. Absolute hoot of a trailer. Looks like a great time. I am very, very excited for that. The Bride, I'm with you. I don't care about this. This is not a good trailer. I don't really know what it is, and it almost comes off as a little corny to me. And I don't think that's what they're going for. Song Sung Blue. Heard about this. Heard about potential performances here for Kate Hudson. Is that her name? I want to say it's Kate Hudson. A potential for Best Actress. I could see it based on the Kate Hudson, yeah. Based off this trailer, maybe that's the case. So it looks like a good time. Looks like a good movie. Sweet.
You know what? I'll say this. You know what vibe it reminds me of? It reminds me of Monaco and Timothy.
Okay.
That vibe, that kind of like couple of performance that you get once a year or twice a year, you know, where it's like two people that are like really locked into portraying these two real life people, you know, like.
And then I had Colleen Hoover movie. Reminders of Him. So one of the most famous authors in the world right now, Colleen Hoover. Her books are everywhere. Reminders of Him, featuring the guy that was in Him as a former football player is what it looked like, based on what they were showing. So that's kind of hilarious. I don't know. Look, it's a fucking super popular book. Look, I think it comes out, I'm looking March next year. I don't know, dude. I don't know. They showed like the whole movie in the trailer too, and I still don't think it brought me on board. But I'll tell you what. I love rom-coms, but this is more of a rom-dram. So, we'll see. But Reminders of Him looked like a really well shot.
We should have rom-dramedies.
In Hoover, we're seeing her stuff everywhere. So, I mean, she's
funny, tragic, and romantic. That we can make a movie like that. Fuck it.
Yeah, hey, fuck it. I'm in. So, first time seeing that. Saw Keeper again. The new Oz Perkins trailer for his little new creepy movie.
I want to see that movie. It's probably going to end up being a streamer, isn't it, though? I don't know if we're going to go out for that one,
I don't even know when it comes out. It might come out like 2 weeks, right? For all we know.
It might be right in that window where we're not going to be able to see it. It looked good. It looks fun. It looks like visceral and real, and it's going to be like one of those, we don't know who's going to be trying to kill the other person the entire movie.
Where's it going to be at with that? So,
okay, here's my question, because we get all this stuff in the trailers of, I have this perspective of the dude, I have this perspective of the chick, you know, like, do you think we're going to get that in the movie? Like, we're going to have, like, we'll see a scene from one perspective and then see it from the other perspective and it'll be different? Or do you think they're just doing that for the trailers?
I think we'll be jumping around. Yeah, I think we'll be jumping around.
We might not get all that information at the same time, though.
Yeah,
think, you know?
It's Oz. Look, I haven't seen the monkey yet, but, you know, Longlegs is pretty fucking awesome with how he toys with your emotions, so. Apparently Monkey's just a hoot, so. Okay, next one. This actually interested me. This comes out this year. Haven't seen the trailer for it. Haven't heard anything about it anywhere. Ella McKay, 20th Century Studios movie. She's like this young girl that becomes governor in unseen circumstances. She's like this young woman. She looks like she's in her early 30s, becomes the governor. And she's dealing with all this family drama while dealing with this challenging work drama. And you have like Jamie Lee Curtis and Woody Harrelson playing, I believe, Woody's her dad, and Jamie Lee's like this, I believe, like an aunt type character. This looked pretty damn good. This looked like it's actually going to be a really good movie. So, hey, 20th Century Studios is probably going to push Avatar, right? But I think this is going to be a damn good movie. And I just looked at who's doing the music for this, Duke. Hans Zimmer.
Shit. Okay.
What?
All right.
So Ella McKay,
lock that one in, I guess. Fuck it.
Ella McKay, December 12th.
Oh shit! So that'll be in this fucking year's Oscar potential.
Yeah,
shit.
I was pretty surprised by that. I'd never heard of this.
Could sneak in. Hey, movies do
and
that.
And it's played by that Emma Mackey, who's the girl that looks so similar to Margot Robbie. So one of the girls that looks so similar to Margot Robbie. Who are we kidding? There's a couple, but so yeah,
they had a Margot Robbie printing machine there in Hollywood for a little bit.
Interesting premise. Trailer for Anaconda. I don't know, dude. I'll tell you what. I think I'm gonna like watching this in the trailer in theaters because it's so fucking stupid. But will I go see this?
Like there was like only like 4 people in the theater for me for this one, right? Which I knew this one was gonna be dead. I knew no one was seeing this movie, right? And I sat down and this trailer came on and I fucking swear to God, the person a fucking row in front of me said, "That movie looks interesting." And I just went, how are you at this movie right now?
I don't know. I mean, it's like this meta take on Anaconda, which has been a trend the past couple of years. It hasn't been really recently, but I don't know.
Everyone else in this movie was like me. They came in, they sat down silently, ate their popcorn, didn't say a word. And they're not saying those people did. They got up once. But everyone else just kind of sat there and watched this movie because that's the kind of movie this was. You know, I think everybody that went to this knew what it was. They probably listened to podcasts like ours, you know. or other shows.
I don't know.
It was so weird that person was in this theater. I don't know how they ended up there. I wonder what they thought.
Look, maybe it's going to be fucking hilarious. Maybe it'll be the funniest movie of the year. Paul Rudd and Jack Black, anything's possible, right? But I just don't know. I'll tell you this though, I don't hate the trailer. It's funny. It's a funny trailer, but it doesn't make me want to see the movie. It doesn't make me want to see the movie. Dude, I'll watch this trailer over a lot of fucking just down gritty serious trailers I don't give a shit about. Now, again, it kind of exposes the whole movie in the trailer, but I'm fine with that. So, yeah, it looks brutal though. It looks like that COVID movie that Pedro Pascal was in, like The Bubble or whatever, which was just fucking brutal to watch. But it was, you know, it was there. Had a lot of actors you like and shit, but and then it coped it all off with Hamnet. First time seeing this trailer, like I kind of said, perfect. I avoided this trailer, but you know, hey, I'm in the theater, so
have to worry about it because that fucking Ice Cube fucking War of the Worlds movie came out, so it's not going to be the worst movie of the year. So
yeah, no, it doesn't have to fucking worry about that. This Hamnet trailer looked absolutely unbelievable. I mean, this looks so good. This movie looks so fucking good. I can't wait. So, yeah. Okay, what's next for us?
We have a House of Dynamite on that one.
Yeah, we have a House of Dynamite, and then I believe we'll be seeing Roofman next. And then after that, when it comes to new movies, The Running Man is up next, and maybe Train Dreams, depending on the dates. I don't know the dates in there. But Train Dreams is one of those probably going to catch it the day of. So you guys can expect a review of that. I'm excited
for Roofman. First comedy we've gone to see this year, right? I believe. I think so, right? I mean, is that right?
Maybe. No, I saw Freakier Friday.
You saw, but maybe we did see one.
I'm trying to think.
Whatever.
Dude, The Naked Gun.
Other than The Naked Gun. We saw The Naked Gun, and that's the only comedy we've actually... It just so happens
that I saw back-to-back comedies because of Naked Gun and Freakier Friday.
That was a fun weekend great. For you, I bet. Jeez,
look, we had fucking...
Didn't you see a third movie that week, too? Crazy.
Big budget comedies fucking on the big screens. So, and Roofman looks like a comedy.
Well, it looks like a comedy. It could be a serious movie, but it looks like there will be at least comedic moments in it.
That spot in the trailer of there's no special department in wherever we are, Arkansas.
Oh yeah, and also I think that's where it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
He's like
the little.
You got me.
Yeah, and then they also like him getting caught by a dude in the naked and showering in the.
There's glimpses of it.
It'll be a funny movie. It probably won't be funny the whole time. It'll probably be like that's probably. Am I getting caught stealing again by this trailer? Is that what's happening?
Of course.
Oh, God damn it. All right, whatever.
And then we will also have a review out for the new HBO show, I Love L.A. So we're going to give that one a shot. I think it's going to be up our alley. I think it's going to be funny. So we're jumping in on that one because I just got a good feeling about it. So funny enough, my dad recommended us. He recommended, he's like, hey, man, you should watch that Welcome to Derry. You should watch that. It's gonna be it's gonna be a big show.
I haven't seen the It movies. I wonder if I have to see the show.
I don't think so. It's a prequel. So,
but here's my thing, right? We haven't talked about it yet. Well, we've talked about it. We haven't talked about watching it yet. My sister and my mom are watching it. A lot of people are watching it. I guess if we hear a little bit more about it, maybe we go back and traipse through it. We would have to retro that because it's already coming out. I don't think we're gonna catch up and then just
second
review.
Episode came out yesterday.
So
they put out 2 in a week. Basically.
Yeah, so we would have to really start catching up on that. And I don't know if we want to add that to our plate right now, but
maybe it's an HBO one, so maybe we will. But
we can talk about it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, here's what we can do: we can try the show, and if it's just not for us, then we just don't bring it back up, you know. But if we do end up liking it, then we just watch a couple episodes, catch up, and boom.
But we got I Love LA, and then as I said on the book club, Words of Radiance. 2 ways that could work.
Next. It could either be a full retro review, or it could be we catch up, do that sort of retro of all the episodes all at once, and then do the next episodes. It would just have to depend if we even decide to do that. So yeah.
Yeah. So that will be pretty good. And that is it for today's review, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little extra at the end here. We wanted to do that. So next movie, House of Dynamite. And then keep an eye out for Roofman, Train Dreams, The Running Man after that. So a lot of good stuff coming your way. So
a good mix, too. Oscar stuff, fun stuff in Roofman, really fun stuff in Running Man. What a man.
Maybe Running Man is the dark horse this year.
Could it get in for does it have what would that movie be able to do? Do we think
it could be a Best Picture movie, dude?
Well, yeah, Best Picture because Best Picture could just be the most fun movie of the year, right? But like, could it get in for like, because there's cool sequences of like, I'm sure violence and stuff.
Adapted screenplay, maybe it's the Bachman movie.
Could it get in for like something with the sets or something like, because they do some crazy
visual
stuff with
effects,
some sequences.
Who knows?
Oh, visual effects. Yeah, it depends on what they do, but yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's where, and I think
how's Glenn?
Because look at the costumes on those dudes. You know what I mean? Like the goons, they look pretty cool. So they
look good.
They look very stormtroopery, you know. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of good mix in there. You'll get some good stuff in the next movies, and we'll get a good show in there, and maybe another book and a half. You know, lock in.
So,
you know,
should be pretty good. So thank you guys for checking us out, and we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Yeah.